Hi, and welcome to Total Health Channel. Have something interesting and relevant for today, September 29, because it's National Coffee Day. And I'm sure that this is probably, most people use coffee, tea, colas, caffeinated beverages, which are considered GRAS, generally recognized as safe by the FDA. Probably because they get millions from the different industries contributing to their diagnosis, when I wish the people from FDA could have been with me in my practice to see people who, and I'm going to share really a dozen different problems medically that the FDA should know, could know, probably knows, but says it's generally recognized as safe anyway. Well, generally recognized because they don't tell the truth. They are liars, okay? We have so many, won't go there right now, but I guess I could mention the CDC that has never mentioned prescription drugs in their top 10 cause of death, even though medical literature supports it as number one. You can go to my website, leading cause of death, prescriptiondrugs.com, and by the way, it has a link to coffee as well, with about 10 different things or 11 it can do to you, And I'm going to mention them, but I just think our government is, my words are hard to describe my poor thinking of their situation. I think they're going to hell because they do not warn people and they allow people to use things, but they do it for greed, for income, for being payback from the industries, pharma, and other things that are supposed to be, and then they call this health care when you see the doctor and he writes a prescription, when in reality it's very little to do with health and healthy habits, and everything to do with a prescription drug that can make you sick and you will die sooner. Guaranteed, in my opinion. Medical care, when I took my MD degree, I had instruction from one doctor who had been to Harvard, got his doctoral degree there. He said he was taught that half of what they teach is not right, they just don't know which half. Well, I can tell you which half. It's the treatment. Diagnosis is pretty good. They can diagnose different diseases, so on and so on, but they are blind to the causes of these diseases as well. And coffee, caffeine, brown liquids, tea as well is a potential problem, unless you're talking about an herb tea with no caffeine. So just want to deal with things talking from the top down. First of all, headaches. People have tension headaches, migraine headaches, cluster headaches, different types, can be linked to caffeine, okay? And this is why Cafragot is a drug used for migraine headaches, and there are other in fact, non-prescription drugs like Excedrin and Anacin, they have caffeine in it as well. Well, why is that? Because the drug does not cause the problem when you first take it. It stimulates you, you feel good. But the withdrawal effect, if you're addicted, just like when you smoke, people don't get sick when they smoke. They get sick when they don't smoke, when they try to quit, when they go through withdrawal. It's a drug withdrawal. And caffeine and nicotine are chemically related. They're both neurotoxins, okay? Caffeine stimulates, nicotine depresses. They keep you in balance. If you try to quit smoking and you drinking the coffee, you won't make it, maybe, because it makes your nerves shoot out the roof, and you say, hey, I have to have something to calm my nerves, and you take the smoke again. Well, that's Dr. Pavlov, Russian scientist, said coffee is bad habit glue. Glues your bad habits together, okay? Same with liquor or alcohol, basically. One study at my university, when they gave laboratory animals, rats, a choice of water or alcohol to drink, if they were on a good diet, they drank water. They preferred it. But if you added coffee and 11 spices, the caffeine soars the intake, okay, when they had that option either way. Well, let's go back to, I started off with headaches, nervousness, anxiety. People want a tranquilizer, and the pharmaceuticals love caffeine because they can sell their Valium, Librium, Ativan, Axiom, whatever, blocking on some of it now. I've been retired so long. I'm 80 years old and in great health because I've never had a regular cup of coffee in my life. My dad had stomach problems. He was a doctor, and he knew what that could do. Caffeine turns your stomach acid on big time, full time. So we never had it at home. We drank Postum or something else. Don't really need the beverages at meal. Chew your food well. It'll go down. you don't have to wash it down, and you digest your food better with less liquid oftentimes. Well, we talked about headaches, nervousness, insomnia is another reason. And again, the pharmaceuticals, we got this, we got that, we can help you sleep, etc. Well, people sleep better without those if they don't use caffeine. Okay. And it's not good to be addicted, so why not bite the bullet and get rid of the stuff. I took cardiology, and in the coronary care unit where I was trained, they did not allow coffee or caffeine. It stimulates or triggers PVCs, premature ventricular contractions. That's extra heartbeats, and in the context of a heart attack, that could be fatal. You could get a ventricular fibrillation, which is fatal unless you get defibrillated real quick. And my daughter, working in a hospital, couldn't stay awake at night, so she drank Cokes. She got breast lumps. Okay, well, she went to her doctor, and he told her to quit the caffeine, and they went away. Yeah. So yeah. And by the way, those breast lumps are the most common reason for surgery on the breast. You want to know whether that's cancer or not, so it biopsy it, etc. Well, or mammograms, so much needless medical care is a result of bad habits we do. The big common pathway is our mouth. We choose what we put in our mouth, and we need medical care. This country we pay more for medical care than any other country, and our health is worse. Okay, how does that resonate with you? So I'm just going to list some of the other things. Stomach problems, I mentioned my dad. Caffeine is a powerful stimulant to gastric acid. It turns your acid on big time. Well, you don't need acid most of the time. You just need it at mealtime, and if you drink a glass of hot water, 15 minutes, if you got stomach trouble and indigestion, drink hot water before your meal, and but not with the meal. Hot water. Yeah, you remember Pavlov? He would ring a bell and feed his dog. Ring a bell, feed his dog. Pretty soon the dog started salivating when he rang the bell. Your bell can be hot water. 10 or 15 minutes early, your body absorbs it. It returns in the form of digestive juices. And I told this to one woman who had problems with digestion, and she took a prescription drug. She didn't need the drug when she took the hot water before her meals, etc. We can live well if we just get our habits oriented and aligned with health care, not medical care. We've aligned them with medical care, and we think the doctors are great because they relieve our symptoms, but you'll die sooner. You'll die sooner. That's bottom line for Physician's Desk reference, with almost every drug having a long list of side effects. And my mother died of cancer of the pancreas, which is caused by caffeine, which she did use on occasion, and which certain TV personalities also died of cancer of the pancreas. Fourth leading cause of cancer death is cancer of the pancreas. And the study in March 12 of 1981, lead article in the New England Journal of Medicine. That's probably the best known, most coveted journal to get an article in if you're a doctor, to have published an article in the New England Journal. And it was the lead article that made a strong link for hundreds of cases of cancer of the pancreas linked to high caffeine intake. Not seen correlated to tobacco or alcohol, but to caffeine, okay, or coffee. And so strongly that even the people that did this study quit the habit, I understand. Cancer of the bladder. Women who drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day have increased cancer of the bladder. And I understand that even cancer of the colon has some increase in risk. Osteoporosis for women. Dose related, the more coffee or caffeine, the thinner the bones get. And when you get old, you don't want to fall because it's going to be trouble, And so many people have in old age fallen and broken a hip. We have a good friend, and she's not really even a cancer user, but she tripped and fell going down the hallway in a hard floor, and she broke her shoulder. I'm sure she didn't. She wasn't a caffeine drinker, but to fall on a hard surface when you're elderly is big trouble. Well, that's probably, we've covered most of it, and I did not mention chromosomal damage for little infants. During the first trimester of pregnancy, women who drink a lot of coffee can have a child with a defect in the lip. They call it hare lip or cleft palate in the soft palate there, and there's a speech defect from them, etc. Not good. And then there's an appeal to help donate so we can give these little kids surgery. Well, why don't we just tell people it's the caffeine they're drinking instead of, we didn't do the surgery. Please donate. It takes a few $100 or $1,000 to do the surgery, whatever. So, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure when it comes to medical care. Stay away from it if you can. I'm a retired physician. I earned a good living trying to help people off the drugs and to know what they could do to avoid them. I didn't have a very prosperous package because I was trying to get them away from the drugs. One pharmaceutical salesman says, just start writing the prescriptions. Your practice will grow. Well, I'm trying to work myself out of business so they don't need me. That's what we really should do, shouldn't we? So a tip now on quitting. If you quit, you're probably going to get a headache. And I know one guy who had really bad symptoms, but take a Tylenol or an Advil or something else if you have to. Tough it out for a little while. And just like with coffee, with smoking, I helped in a stop smoking program in the University of Arizona where we had 150 people taking the course, and 100 on the 5th night had not smoked the previous 24 hours. It takes about 5 days. It was a 5-day plan. And the first day is difficult, second day a little worse, third day is the peak, but the fourth is a little better, and the 5th night, hey, we're going to make it. That's the story of these alkaloids like caffeine or nicotine. And if you're quitting one, quit them both at the same time. It will go better that way than if you try to quit smoking and still drink the caffeine or alcohol. It's it's the same sad thing that AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, sit around and talk about the evils of alcohol while they smoke cigarettes. Quit them both. We don't need to be a nation of addicts, which we are. So thank you. Like this and share it with others. God bless you. We'll see you.